Hey, what is up guys? iDevice Help here. Welcome back to the channel. And finally, Apple has released a brand new firmware update for all their AirPods basically. The new firmware update 5E133. Now, over the past day or two, I've been testing multiple pairs of AirPods to provide you guys any additional performance improvements, any new features, bug fixes, and everything else in between. So let's just dive right into this video. Now, as always, if you would like to stay up to date with the latest iOS news and Apple software updates, of course, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on those notifications so that you don't miss another episode. Now, the first thing I would like to talk about is how to update your AirPods to the latest firmware 5E133. This is a very popular question as there isn't any manual way within the software in order to do this. So basically what you need to do is make sure that your iPhone is connected to Wi-Fi, make sure that the AirPods are paired to your iPhone via Bluetooth, and connect both of them to a power source and let them sit next to each other for about 20 minutes. And this will happen automatically. So go into settings here and make sure that they're paired, and automatically they will update on your iPhone, and right here they will populate a new section for your AirPods just like so. Once you tap into here, in about 20 minutes after sitting next to each other, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll find version number. If it says 5E133, then you're on the latest firmware update. Now there's a few things I wanted to share with you guys in today's video, some of my findings here. This is Apple's website, by the way. This new update is available for basically the entire lineup. So we have AirPods Pro 2nd generation, AirPods Pro 1st generation, the AirPods 2nd and 3rd generation, and the AirPods Max. So they all received a new update, including the 1st generation to 688. So that's just the 1st generation. But I want to talk about the 5E133. This firmware update is the one that I want to talk about because Apple doesn't really provide real details in regards to what's new. Basically, for the past 4 updates, they just say bug fixes and other improvement, bug fixes and other improvement, bug fixes, but there's actually some things that are new. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this line of text right here on Apple's website. Apple has mentioned that if you don't have an Apple product nearby to update your AirPods, you can actually set an appointment in an Apple store or an authorized Apple reseller and go in and update your AirPods. I guess Apple has realized that not everyone that has AirPods has Apple products, which is kind of weird to think that way. But yeah, I've seen a lot of Android users have AirPods but don't have an iPad or an iPhone or anything like that. So this will be useful for those Android users that use AirPods but don't have any Apple products. If you want to update your firmware, you can go ahead and make an appointment again or walk into an Apple store. I'm sure they'll take care of you and you can update the firmware on your AirPods. Now, another thing I do want to mention is that a source has also discovered that there's a new sound for the cases on the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Now, I haven't been able to replicate this sound, and I wanted to play that sound for you guys right now. So that sound was discovered within the code of the new firmware for the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Again, I haven't been able to replicate the sound. The source does not indicate what this sound is pertaining to or what it is for, but I'm assuming this has to do something with the Find My network, as the AirPods Pro 2nd generation do have a speaker so that when you go to find them, if you lose them, you can find them a lot better because the sound will be louder than the previous generation. Of course, the AirPods Pro 2nd generation that is. Now, in terms of bugs over the past 48 hours, I've noticed that there's one improvement and I'm happy to report about. Now, the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max are good, so I'm going to set that aside. I want to talk about the AirPods Pro 2nd generation and the standard 3rd generation as well. I had a bug within the latest firmware or previous firmware that would show that the AirPods, after I put them in my ear, one of them would show like it's completely dead, where it wouldn't show the actual battery percentage properly after putting them in my ear when they were both actually sitting in the case for the same amount of time. And one of them would just shut off on its own because it would think that it was dead. And that was a bug, that was an issue that was plaguing AirPods, in my opinion, 3rd generation, or in my experience, 3rd generation in AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Now, over the past 2 days after using the latest firmware, I've noticed that this is no longer an issue. So if you were having issues with inconsistent battery percentage being displayed, or your AirPods, even though they were charged, it would show like they weren't, or maybe low battery when the battery was actually completely full, like me, I've experienced this multiple times. So this firmware looks to be addressing this issue as well, which I'm happy to report. So let me know in those comments down below if you ever encounter that issue. So far, the latest firmware update available for basically all AirPod models is looking good. It's working fine. That's everything I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.